Good morning, everyone. So this is my second video on how to use Cloud Backend Service API NowDB to create custom connector. Okay, so remember this is the auto generation of OpenAPI without having to write any codes. Remember how to write any codes. Okay, so let's jump into this Power Apps. Right. Okay, in here, okay, you will have custom connector. All right, so before you proceed to this one, I need to open my NowDB data manager. So you need to install, sign up, and sign in. Okay, let's look at this UI. Very simple UI. You create one project, and you will have then continuing with collection. Okay, then you create your own app ID, and decide on the API access right before you generate Swagger. Okay, let's start with create a project. Okay, this I call it first project. Just very simple, and this is the first project. All right. Okay, as I mentioned the other day, when you are signing up to this NowDB, you will be given a token. Okay, this will be the token. All right. Okay, and yeah, for any project, there will be the same token. For this first project, okay, so I will have to create collection. Okay, first project here. I will create my collection. So let me call it my collection 1. Okay, so this is the collection. So then we call it entity in CDS. And then here you will have to create or set a field. And this is browsing data, and this is something you can remove, right? So, okay, let's come here. Let's create a very simple collection with 2 fields, name and one more. Okay, just for your information, all the fields will be having the format as text. Okay, that is really different from CDS, right? No matter how, you can always do calculation as text, just like in Excel. Okay, after you have created a collection, you need to create app ID for this project. Okay, you can have one app ID for all the collection, or you may have different app ID. Right? So let's create one app ID. Okay, just call it first project. Right, so to be used for my collection. Okay, so this will automatically generate an app ID. All right, you can go in and you can have a look. Yeah, this is the app ID here. Okay, all right, so now you have one token and you have one app ID. So that means the app ID can be unique for that collection, or it can be just generated for all the collection. Okay, in here you need to decide what are these access rights. Okay, example, like you can have the function of insert, select all, select ID, select where, and normally I will just toggle on these 3: update all, update ID, and update where, remove all, remove where, and remove ID. Right. So from here means I have decided to have this function being linked to this API. Okay. And then I need to create Swagger. Okay, before I start to create Swagger, there's something I need to share with you. Okay, you can import data from Excel, okay, directly into here, right? So you can just click here and choose the file. Okay, I have created a small file. Okay, yeah, you just name it exactly the same as the field, and I just try to enter to data. Please follow exactly to the field in sequence, and then you can just choose the file, and you can import. In a second, you can see the data here. All right, in order to view the data, you need to come back here and you need to view. Okay, before you can view the data, you need to copy the app ID and you come to browse data. Just enter the app ID, copy and paste. Okay, you can see there are 2 data here. Okay, and you can remove. And this number actually is the GUID automatically generated, and this in sequence. So that is a very important ID field whereby you can use for the sorting purposes. Okay, right now we have already created a project called first project with one collection or one entity called my collection 1, and with app ID here. And now it is something very important that you need not to learn how to write Swagger. Okay, this is automatically generated following the rules of OpenAPI. Okay, before we proceed, I just have a quick sharing of Swagger. Okay, so here this is about custom connector. Okay, talking about create a custom connector from scratch. Okay, right, you create yourself. Okay, I think there's one more important here, that is from an OpenAPI definition. So our NowDB integrated with the Swagger auto generation based on OpenAPI. All right. Okay, let's come back here. Okay, right now is okay. Let's come back here again. So I will just click on this Swagger and just name it for your own project. This I call it first project. Okay, I try to make it the same so to be easy to remember. And then just anyhow put registration 1 and this is home, and make sure you enter and valid email. Okay, and you can start to decide what kind of API you need, you wish to have. Okay, and here you can select the Swagger to be generated, but just I showed you before that, you can still decide the access right, but here is to generate the Swagger. Okay, I can see you have insert function. You can select all, select ID, and select where. Update all, update ID, update where, and also remove. Right. Okay, and done. Click done here. All right. So you can see this is the selection. All right. Selection. Okay. Okay. Now this is auto generating of Swagger. Okay. This is something has been written by Taufik based on the requirement of an OpenAPI with the support from Microsoft. And now he has made this one Swagger. Okay. This is quite not easy to see, right? Okay, I guess you enlarge or okay, all right, sorry. Okay, you can just click here to copy, click copy. So you open your Notepad or even Notepad++ and just paste into here. Now you can see this is the Swagger being automatically generated. Okay, most of the time when you look at some the demo from Microsoft, you have to learn how to write Swagger to connect to your own database system. Okay, that's all right if you know how to write Swagger. But since we have our own NowDB database system, and if you install and you subscribe from us, okay, you don't have to know how to write, but you will automatically generate. Okay, okay, on for the purpose of insert. Okay, select, read, or even like remove, update. Okay, and here you need to save as. In this case, okay, I will save in somewhere here. Okay, let's call first project, and it must be saved as JSON file. Okay, if they say you're using some notepad, they do not have JSON file, you can just type JSON file will do. Okay, all right, so JSON file is generated. Okay, now the first step is create a project. Let me repeat. Add in collection, number of collection, enter the field that you want, generate an app ID. Okay, from here you can see the app ID, and then please turn on. You may turn off later on so that you can control what people can do. If you turn off, select all or insert means even though your Swagger connected, you still cannot insert. Okay, sometimes I may also make a mistake and I forgot. Okay, this is of sharing. Okay, we'll be explained in the next time. Okay, and this is a Swagger generator. Right. So once already generated, you save as a JSON file. Okay, right now you have to come to here. Okay, you can either insert into any environment or even into default. For me, I can use default. Okay, all right, it support custom connector. I don't even have to go to environment. Right, custom connector. So what you do is import an OpenAPI file. Okay, you don't have to create from blank or even from Azure or for any other, just an API file. Okay, again, I'll just call it, let's say to be easy to differentiate between the name, I just put it as first pro. Okay, project. Import your OpenAPI. Okay, if there's error, it will pop up until immediately. And here, you can see that, in fact, there's no problem, right? And you can change the icon here. It's just very easy. You go and select any icon that you have, or you can just get it from internet. Okay, this is my first project. Okay, there's the one. They say I put it as, say, yeah. Okay, what is the icon I will choose? Okay, I just face. Okay, okay, this is second. Okay, in fact, you don't have to do anything, and you can have a look at the Swagger. Okay, that is something already created by Microsoft. You can view and you can modify here. All right, so this is the so-called post gate, post delete here. Okay, you don't have to, okay, you can turn off. You don't have to do anything, security, definition, and test. No, you don't have to, because we have already created 2 years ago, and we have confirmed everything are improper and following to the rules of OpenAPI. Okay, this is already being created and it's still here, custom connector. So before you can start to use, just like Dropbox, CDS, you need to be added to the connection. So it's quite simple. And you come over here. Okay, this is the, okay, what I do is you just create. Okay, before I proceed, subsequently, if you make any changes to your field, maybe you change your field name, you add your field name, or maybe add collection, you can recreate Swagger and you can update from here. Okay, you don't have to re-add. Okay, added. So once added, you can just update. Okay, this is first pro, you create. Okay, in a very short time, you can see, okay, this first project is already added as a normal connection, just like now, just like some other function from Roblox or even OneDrive notification. So it's already part of the connection. Okay, now I need to demo how can we consume. Okay, first of all, just open Canvas apps. Canvas. Okay, let's start from, okay, table layout. So it is big enough for me to show how do you make a CRUD. Okay, before you can start to do anything, you need to come here to look for the data source. In this case, it's first project. All right, you can see I set as first project. So it is here. Added. All right, you can't see anything. Okay, first of all, you need to connect to the Power Apps. So what you do is on start here, you have to use clear collect. So that means every time when it is connected to NowDB, it is collected into a name and saved into a collection. And that is one of the reasons why it become faster and it can consume data more than 2,000 rows. Okay, let's say it's my, let's say it's my project to differentiate. Okay, from the rest, my pro. Okay, just now you have first project. Okay, you can see the title is first project in the Swagger. Have a look here. So this is first project. So that means the Swagger will be read as first project, and I'm going to select all. So that means whenever you do any action, execute any function, either remove, update, or insert, you have to trigger this again so that they can collect the latest data. Okay, you can see we have a guide here. Please include app ID every time in a double quote. Okay, so where is your app ID? Okay, it is here. So look for first project, and this is the app ID. Just double click, copy and paste here. Oh, sorry. Okay, there's no error, everything's been proper. Okay, but if you start to do anything like insert, it can't still proceed. The reason is you need to save and reopen so that the connection is being created. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll just save as one. Okay, my first project, and you can save in the cloud and reopen, or you can just download. Okay, all right. Okay, I just download. Oh, okay, I have done the second time. Okay, I send shows here. Okay, let's just download to this here. All right, okay. Okay, I've done the second time. I forgot to rename it. Okay, it's all right. Okay, I'll open it again. Okay, let's close this one. I'll just open the apps again. A blank app. I'll just open and browse to get the apps. Okay, you may want to save to cloud and extract from there. Okay, and these are the apps. All right, now the apps is connected to NowDB database when you reopen. Okay, this is here. All right, so just now I've shown you that I have two data. Okay, you can view from here, the collection here, you have two data. Okay, all right, so this is the data that you have. Okay, that's proceeds as what you have learned before. Okay, I'm sure you have experience in making Power Apps. Okay, this is my project, right? And then a label. Okay, and you have copy paste another one, and you have another one is called name. And now you have already started to use to connect the NowDB, and you can view the data easily. Okay, let's put it in such a way. Okay. All right, in order to be easily viewing the database here, okay, let's say give a color here. All right, so and I just want to make it in the white. Okay, so we can see it easily here. Okay, all right, the number is a bit small here. Okay, and actually a bit. All right, okay, then make it into red, maybe country, so that later on you can have more data here. Okay, so now we are going to start with CRUD. Okay, let's put the label here. I can guide you. So we are going to have create, read, update, read. Okay, first of all, read using gallery, read, if, select all. Okay, this is the first one that is select all. So that means you are already started to have read the data. Okay, it is here. Now I need to show a very quick one how to create. Okay, using the text input. So since I have two fields, then I need to have two text input here. Okay, so let's remove this text input. All right. Okay. Give you a name here. This is name. And okay. And this is age here. Okay, seeing this number, let's select number, but it's still set the text. Okay. All right. So this is a slightly smaller field. Okay. So we have two fields. You can fill the data. All right. So I'm not going to talk about the rest of the function, that update or reset. I just want to show how to create. Okay. Now let's say this is set. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Later I'm going to do update. So I would rather use a variable here. Okay. This label called set mode. Okay. And when I start my apps, I will have set mode as set. Okay, they'll be very useful because I may have one button for both save and update. Okay, let me run and you can show it set here. Okay, now I'm going to insert data here. Okay, so what I need to do is on select, you'll be using the function insert. Okay, you can see it is automatically pop up here, and you need to have the field that you are going to have input and with token project collection FID. Okay, this is quite a repeating job. So unlike CDS and the rest like SharePoint or Excel, you need to know the name, field name. But in our case, you don't have to know. You just need to know the input field. Okay, let's say I change to text name to make it easy to remember, and text age. Right, okay, the button here is button set. Okay, so right now is you can just enter. This is the field that you want, and then this is another field that you want. Okay, now you need to have token. Okay, what you need to do is copy from here the token. First project. Okay, any project will be the same. You want token, you click and you will copy automatically. Okay, remember always in double quote. The name of the project is first underscore project. Data set you can just copy. The name of the collection, okay, my collection 1. And the last one, and very important, you will refer exactly to the app ID of this one. Okay, just copy and paste here. Okay, now it is done. Right? So remember, after you save your project, you need to clear collect again so that it will show you the data, the latest data, and save to my project. And again, you will change to the save mode back to save again. In case later on it is update. Right? Okay, it's okay. I'll just show you this one first. Okay, after you have inserted, okay, you need to clear collect. Okay, let's make a very quick demo. Okay, the name will be, say, example, June, edge is 14. Save. Let's see if anything happen. The name of this is my project, and yeah, let me see anything goes wrong. Let me see my data. This is not activated. Okay, now let me have a look on this database here. It's not saved. Okay, let me check on the collection here if I have already included the insert here. All right, I already have. Okay, let me toggle again. Okay, this is the app ID 3F. This is the 3F. Select all my collection one. Okay, it should be correct. Okay, let me save again. Okay, let me save into cloud. Okay, first project and try to reopen. Okay, let me save the cloud first. Okay, let's just close the apps and just reopen the apps. All right, first project here. Let's have a look. So, okay, maybe I make a mistake. It should be save to cloud first. Okay, not download. All right, so let's have a look here. Okay, so this is name again 14. Okay. Oh, it's not set. Whatever. Let's have a look. Insert my first project. Insert text. Okay, first project. My collection 1. Let's have a look if there's any mistake in my name. First project. My collection 1. This is correct. Okay. Maybe something wrong here. Okay, have a look here. Okay, let's see what's happening. Showing the data. Okay, there's two data here. All right, this must be something wrong somewhere. Okay, let's have a look here. My project, app ID. Okay, see, there's any mistake here. All right, let's redo. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe just now, maybe there is some space over here. Okay, all right. Okay, then you can look here. Okay, so that is the app ID, and you can see the data is already being appended here. Okay, this is the data. All right, so that is the first one about creating a data. You can see in a very fast pace, it was just saving to the data. Let's say you text immediately. All right. Okay. So you may just clear the data if you wish. Okay. This okay. Let's say we do something that is let's say this is the data here. Let's say I just reset After saving, text, and let's save text h. Right, so that every time when I save, it will reset. Let's say the name is so 50. Okay, yeah, it will be reset. All right, so this is about create data, and this is very fast. Okay, and then you can use a counter. Okay, there will be demo in another YouTube, in another video, but here I'll just show you. You can use any count. Okay, there's no delegation issue and count for this project. Right, it will show 5 data here. Okay, you don't have to use count if, you can use count row. All right, so since you have already saved, you may want to edit the data. So how do you edit the data? Okay, you have to come to the gallery and looking for the first data here. Let's say we insert an edit pen, right? Okay, let me make it somewhere here. Okay, so you need to edit this item. All right, so my way of doing is slightly different. In fact, because I was the insider since 2016, we have a very old method. All right, I need to update context. I prefer use update context instead of set, which are global variable. I wish to reduce the cache memory. Okay, update context. Example, edit record. You will go to this item. So that means when I click here, right here, I'll just add the data into edit record. You can have a look here. Edit record, you have a data called Jeff30. Yes, because I click on Jeff30. If I click on Hong 50, then you can easily see the data here is Hong 50. Yes, okay. Right, so you have already added the data into a context variable called edit record. So then you need to be appended here. Okay, remember you have the default field. Okay, now, okay, since it's already, it's already appended into edit record, you can call out by using edit record dot name. All right, the same goes to edit record dot h. Okay, I'm not using submit form. I'm not using edit form because that is using Power Apps. But since we are using our own custom connector, the way of doing will be slightly different. So it's very simple. So okay, you may want to ask me, what about I want to add a new record? Okay, it's the same thing here. You may want to add a new record. Let's say subsequently you want to add a new record. Okay, you can just like update context because the default is edit record. So what you need to do is remember these defaults. Okay, defaults. Okay, default your database. Okay, your data will be, in my project. So you will call it my project. Right. So when you click here, you'll be become default. Default means you create a new empty rows. Okay, of my project. So if I click here, you open the data here. All right. The same thing like after you have saved your data, you may always want to be empty. So what you need to do is you don't have to reset, just change to update. All right. Okay, that's demo here. Okay, say, okay, I have a new friend called Mr. Lin. Okay, and age is 30. Right. Save. Maybe I make a mistake here. Oh, it's not updating, right? It's supposed to update. I did record. Defaults my project. Okay, this is okay. Let's go backwards. Okay, maybe I make some mistake here. Okay, right. Actually, it's just click here. You can see. Oh yeah, I remember you need to make it blank first before because the edit record is still data inside. So you need to make it blank. I'd rather do this way because okay, it's the same thing because maybe when I'm editing the data, this is not going to be blank out. Okay, all right. Okay, let's say try another one. Let's say the name will be Pauline and it's 32. Save. Oh, it's still not changed to default, right? So maybe I need to use reset. Okay. Okay, text name. maybe set text page, and I need to, yeah, I think that's good enough. I need to have a new record here, otherwise you won't understand. Okay, so let's change here. Okay, it's already become a layout. Okay, all right, let's say I need to edit from here. Okay, what happened to here? This item. Okay, because maybe it is blank. Okay, I need to take out this. All right, something wrong here. Okay, edit page. Let me try out here. Test one. Okay. Okay, there's something wrong here. So sometimes make some changes, you will not be activated. Okay. All right. So this is about CRUD. I can change to, okay. Oh, okay. I made a mistake. I'm not doing editing. I'm still inserting. So I need to change to update. Okay. Now it is saving a new record. What about you want to change to a to edit a record? So what you need to do is update this item, and then remember this text is called save mode, and I change to update. All right. So okay, you can update. So what I'm going to do here is, if the save mode is saved, it will insert. Okay, so I'll be using switch save mode. If it's save, okay, it will be insert. Okay. What about if it's update? Okay, so you're looking for update. Okay, all right. So you need to use update. First project, update the item that you are looking for, which ID you're looking for. So you can see here, this is exactly the same like insert, but you have one more ID here. So what you do is you just copy here, paste here, okay, and then you have complete the whole thing here. Okay, all right, something is missing here. Okay, the third one is ID. So which ID you are editing? You are editing the ID that you selected. There is this ID. Remember that I have told you that maybe there's some mistake here. Update here. Okay. It's okay. All right, this is the ID that you're selecting. So, right, let me show you here. In fact, when you have edited the record, there's ID here. So means you're editing on this ID. Let me show you. Use a label to show the ID that you are editing. Okay, this is the ID. All right. So you are in fact actually changing based on the ID. So when you update, in fact, you are trying to update on this specific ID. Okay, let's see what is the mistake here. Switch. Okay, save mode. Okay, what's next? Okay, unknown. Update ID, text name. Okay, now. Okay, let's see what is the mistake here. Okay, maybe somewhere here. From here. Save, update. Okay, let me redo here. Okay. So you need to have this part in here. Okay, let's copy here. There must be something wrong here. Okay, this is the page. Okay, let's see what's wrong here. Unknown or unsupported function. Okay, it's supposed to be update here. Okay, let's redo here. Okay, let's see. There's some error in the typing. H. Okay, here I see I can still copy, no problem. Okay, alright, this one. Maybe. ID. And then let's copy here. You can see. Oh, there's something wrong with my okay. Oh, okay, there's a typing error. Typing here. Okay. Right. Okay, done. So that means when the text is this variable, save mode is equal to save, you will look for this part insert. Otherwise, you'll be on update. And either one that you have done, either save or update, you need to clear collect and then reset the text. Okay, let's have a look here, which I made mistake just now. We change to 10 years old and I update. You can see it's updated here. And Elvin, there's a mistypo here. Okay, Elvin okay, my friend. Okay, it's updated. So right now you can see I have create, to read, and create, and update. Okay, the last one is how do you delete? Right. So probably something like here. Okay. Today I'm going to show you like a quick delete. You can just click to delete, or you can just click to pop up the button to delete the field that you want. Okay, right. So, like for example here, you may want to just click and remove immediately. So what you do is first okay, remove. Yes, remove which one? This ID. So the same thing is because of the ADB call refer to the ID. So I'm going to remove this ID. And then this is the add ID. All right, I may not be able to remember. So I just copy from here. This is the add ID. All right, it's just very simple. Okay, in a second, you'll get a thing removed. Okay, press alternate. Okay, let's say I want to remove this ID. Okay, you see nothing happened, right? Actually, it has already been removed. Okay, I missed out one step. Once you have removed, you need to clear collect. Okay, right? Once you remove, you need to clear collect. Okay, just now I've already done it. Run again to make the data missing. Okay, all right. Let me remove this test. Oh, okay. I'm not triggering. Okay, collect. Right. You should be able to select again. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, this is supposed to remove, right? Okay, let me have a look at what is wrong. Okay, let's see copy from here. Okay, so when I remove here, okay, let's see what happened. Let me look at the data here. Okay, all right, sometimes I make some, yeah, silly mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 data. Yes, it is not removed, right? Okay, let me have a look what is happening. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, when I select this one, it will already record. So when I select here, okay, I think I made a mistake because I don't trigger for this item. Yeah, this item here. Okay, right. So you can just remove this one. Yes, right. So why did I make a mistake? Because I was thinking of making a pop-up to remove the data. Okay, so now we talk about CRUD. Okay, let me demo another action to show that I will just make sure that you confirm before you remove. Okay, let's say like cancel, and this will be like confirm. Okay, I have the two buttons here. Okay, okay, I'll just try to make it a little bit different. Okay, you can see the difference here. Okay, I'll make sure that these two are not visible. Okay, visible. Delete. Okay, all right. So when I start the apps, I want to make sure that I set to false. Okay, all right, it is false. So when I click here, I'm not going to trigger this action. I'll just rather then this make this these two buttons visible. Okay, I'll just click here and visible. Then I will have this another button here, cancel to be as update context to be false. Okay, all right, false. Okay, and then here, okay, I'll make sure that you will repeat the action of delete, but they don't understand what is this item. So what I mean is when you are here, not only you make these two buttons visible, but you also set it to the record. Okay, that is the action that I make a mistake. So I have appended the data into a record, and I'm going to remove this record. Okay, it will be the same. So that means I have a chance to decide once again to make sure that it is being removed. Right? Okay, let's look at here. So cancel. I want to remove this link. So I'll just confirm. Yes. So that is to make sure that it is confirmed before you have deleted. Okay. Again, you need to make it invisible after you have removed. Right. So that is to confirm the data. Okay. Just for example, again, you here confirm delete and it disappear. All right. So today I have demo a complete CRUD using a very simple formula using the context of the record that you want to remove, update, okay, and or edit. And at the same time, you can use switch function to trigger whether you wish to save using insert or you wish to update using update ID. All right, there are many update functions like where or, but anyway, this is the way. And then after you have used any other function, switch, you have to clear collect and before you reset the data. Right here, you can see it is very fast action to execute CRUD. Right? So I wish you enjoy this session before you go for another YouTube whereby I want to share with you about the non-delegation of NowDB custom connector. That means there's nothing to do with us on custom connector. I'll get ready of 3,400 data as I show you in the first video. Then I will show how do I calculate. So this is a very simple CRUD, and I hope you enjoy the session of how fast we can use NowDB. Okay, before I end the session here, let me show you again to you the data which already been appended here to prove to you that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so thank you very much for